Most people expect a warning when something is about to end. A conversation, a relationship, a connection. They expect tension, arguments, explanations, closure. But when a Sigma man walks away, none of that happens. There is no final discussion, no dramatic goodbye, no emotional confrontation. One day he is present, focused, consistent, and the next he is gone. This confuses people, not because they did not see problems, but because they never saw the ending coming. They replay conversations, they search for signs, they wonder what they missed. And the truth is uncomfortable. The Sigma did not leave suddenly, he left silently, long before he physically walked away. In this video, we are going to break down the psychology behind why Sigma men walk away without warning, why they do not explain themselves, why they do not negotiate their boundaries, and why once they leave, they almost never return. This is not about ego, it is not about punishment, and it is not about control. It is about clarity, and once a Sigma reaches it, there is no reason to stay. This is silent Apexx, and this is the psychology of the quiet exit. A Sigma man does not leave because of one mistake, or one argument, or one disappointing moment. He leaves because of accumulation. Every ignored boundary, every repeated behavior, every subtle sign of disrespect. Unlike most people, the Sigma does not react immediately. He observes. He notes patterns. He watches how someone behaves when they believe nothing is at stake. While others argue to be understood, the Sigma gathers data. He does not announce dissatisfaction, not because he is passive, but because he understands something most people do not. People rarely change because of words. They change because of consequences. So instead of explaining himself repeatedly, the Sigma watches to see if awareness exists without being forced. And this is where the separation begins. The Sigma has an internal threshold, a line that is invisible to others, but very real to him. As long as interactions remain within that boundary, he stays. He adapts. He remains calm. But once that line is crossed enough times, something shifts. Emotionally, he detaches, not dramatically, not angrily, quietly. He stops investing energy. He stops imagining a future. He stops correcting behavior. This phase is dangerous for those around him because it looks like nothing is wrong. He still speaks, still shows up, still functions, but internally the decision has already been made. This is why the exit feels sudden to others. They never notice the withdrawal that came first. The Sigma does not need closure conversations because closure already happened internally. By the time he walks away, he is not angry. He is resolved. And resolution does not need explanation. Most people give warnings because they want change. They want reassurance. They want to feel heard. Warnings are a negotiation. The Sigma does not negotiate his core boundaries. Once he recognizes a repeated pattern that violates his values, he does not attempt to fix it through emotional pressure. He understands something critical. If someone only respects you when you threaten to leave, they never truly respected you. So he does not say, "If this happens again, I'm gone." He allows reality to speak for itself. This is not manipulation. It is self-respect. The Sigma believes that awareness should not be forced. If someone is present, attentive, and mature, they notice shifts without needing ultimatums. When that awareness is absent, the Sigma sees it as information. He does not correct it. He records it. And this is why he gives no warning. Because warnings are for people who are still undecided, still attached, still hoping. The Sigma only leaves when hope is already gone. At that point, a warning would be dishonest. It would create a false sense of control. It would invite negotiation after the decision is final. Instead, he chooses silence, and silence feels cruel to those who do not understand it. But from the Sigma's perspective, silence is clean. It avoids drama. It avoids false promises. It avoids emotional manipulation on both sides. He does not want to win an argument. He wants alignment. And when alignment disappears, words become unnecessary. When the Sigma walks away, people panic not because they lost him, but because they lost access. Access to his stability, his calm, his predictability. The Sigma often plays the role of emotional anchor without announcing it. He listens more than he speaks. He reacts less than others expect. He does not escalate conflict. When he leaves, the emotional environment changes instantly. Suddenly, there is friction, noise, uncertainty. People begin questioning their actions, not out of accountability, but because the silent presence that absorbed tension is gone. This is why attempts to reconnect often come after the exit. Messages appear, apologies surface, confusion is expressed, but the Sigma rarely responds, not out of pride, but because engagement would reopen a chapter he has already closed. The Sigma understands that revisiting resolved decisions creates instability, and instability is what he left to begin with. To outsiders, this looks cold, detached, unforgiving, but internally it is consistency. The Sigma does not rewrite decisions to ease someone else's discomfort. He accepts being misunderstood if it means remaining aligned with himself. And this is why his absence feels heavier than his presence ever did. People realize his value only after it is no longer available, not because he changed, but because the environment did. When most people leave, they look back, they check reactions, they wait for regret. The Sigma does not. Once he leaves, his focus shifts forward. He does not revisit emotional landscapes that cost him peace. Returning would mean re-entering patterns he already evaluated and rejected. And the Sigma does not romanticize potential. He respects reality. He understands that people can apologize sincerely and still repeat the same behaviors. So he measures change not by words, but by time and consistency. And most people want immediate forgiveness, not long-term transformation. This is where the final separation occurs. The Sigma is not interested in restarting cycles. He is interested in building stability. And that requires clean exits. No loose ends, no emotional hooks, just movement. This is why when a Sigma walks away, it feels permanent. Because it is not an emotional reaction, it is a strategic withdrawal from misalignment. And once alignment becomes non-negotiable, returning is no longer an option. If this resonated, it is not because you fear abandonment. It is because you recognize clarity. The Sigma does not leave to teach lessons. He leaves because he has already learned his. And the greatest lesson is this: peace is not negotiated, it is chosen. If you are walking this path, understand something important. You do not owe explanations to people who ignored your boundaries. You do not owe closure to those who dismissed your silence. And you do not owe access to those who misunderstood your value. At Silent Apexx, we explore the psychology of restraint, discipline, and quiet strength. Not for everyone, only for those who understand that real power does not announce itself. If this message aligned with you, like the video, subscribe to Silent Apexx and explore the other content on this channel built for those who move deliberately, not loudly. Stay focused, protect your energy, and remember, the strongest exits are the quiet ones.